Bang ipaliwanag sa atin kung ano pa ang mga problema ng sistemang ito ng automated election. Tawagan natin ang dating Vice President at Management System Consultant ng isang bangko at kasalukuyang fellow ng Cenpeg para naman ibahagi sa atin ang Electoral System Studies ni Ginoong Hector Barrios. Palakpakan po natin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ang aking pong working experience, I have working experience as the head of operations of a bank, a fairly sizable bank. Kaya ang punta vista ko is the management of systems from a broad perspective. No? Kasi nandun ako sa taas. No? And I believe that it is best to approach our automated election issues from a broad perspective. Let us apply that perspective to the current controversy regarding the possible irregularity in the transmission of election returns in the last year's election, as a result of which the integrity of the canvass has been placed in question. There is a proper and expeditious way to resolve any doubts about the integrity of the canvass. And that is by reconciling the result of the canvassing, that is the certificate of canvass, with its source, the election returns. Reconciliation is a standard method to control the results of data processing, including the data transmission. And the fact that we have not resorted to this method is an irregularity, because this is the method provided for in our election law. I refer to Section 19 of Republic Act 9369. I wonder if we can project it. Here, Section 19 calls for the preparation of election returns in multiple copies. Part of it is Section 19A, which calls for the election returns for the presidential. No? In that section, 30 copies are required for preparation. No? And kinaklasify ko lang rito because I would like to discuss or annotate this. No? It's parang madaling basahin. It's a fairly sizable. Is there a way to compress this para makita ng buong ano? This is not a big. Yeah, konti lang naman laman. You can see the total kaagad. I'd like to see the grand total 30. Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to the first, no. Let's focus muna on the first, no. Itong on the first copy, itong Board of Canvassers copy, we can call this the production copy. This is the copy that will go through the canvassing process to produce the end result of the canvassing subsystem, and that is the certificate of canvass. What about the rest? The rest are not for canvassing. They are control copies. They are the copies that can be used to verify kung tama or not yung certificate of canvass. Why can they be used for such? No? You'll notice that sabay-sabay ginawa sila by the Board of Election Inspectors. At that point, they are not yet tainted by any transmission or other irregularity. Malinis pa lahat, no? And the only copy that can be subjected to the risk of irregularity is the copy of the Board of Canvassers. Kaya malinis all the 29 other copies, and any of them can be used to verify kung tama yung the certificate of canvass. No? And that is why I call it an irregularity. Why don't we do that? In fact, that practice should be done immediately upon any question about the canvas, parang hindi na lumaki yung problema. The moment there is any question about the canvas in a particular municipality, dito na kaagad dapat checkin kung tumatama. So I recommend that yung mga holders of these control copies, no, I hope that they will take the initiative to run the respective copies. Maganda sana kung there are more than one, several of them together, and if they can do that publicly, then mapapalagay ang publiko. Sa ngayon, the public is not settled, no? They are stressed because of the doubts about the legitimacy of the elected officials sa ngayon. Those doubts should not be allowed to linger. It could even lead to some political unrest. Dapat, there's a way to settle it, why not settle it now? So yun ang aking sinasabi, no? Now, before I go, I should like to mention another way of using the sinasabi kong broad perspective, no, in looking at the system. I refer to, I'm sorry. Ayan, nakuan ko na pala. I need to annotate this a little more, no? So I already mentioned the use of this for control, no? Ngayon, I have another annotation. Number 2, what is the significance, supposing may difference na na-establish between a control copy or several control copies and the production copy? My friends, that is the body of the crime. Tawag natin dyan the corpus delicti or delicti. Yun ang body of the crime, and it is sufficient basis for legal or administrative action to correct the wrong, to undo the bad things that were caused by the error, no? Baka nagkaroon pa ng false proclamation. Basis na yon kasi makita mo ng maliwanag, no? But we say, but there are other investigations, no? The forensic investigation into the transmission, etc., no? Mahalaga rin mga yon because they can establish 3 things, no? They can establish the existence or presence of irregularity in the conduct of the election process or the canvassing process. Number 2, they can establish how it was done. And number 3, they can establish who the culprit was, no? And therefore, appropriate action can be taken from the findings of those 3 investigations. So, I shall now, pinahabol ko it, I closed na kaagad. So that ends my presentation of this. No? But I should like to add a few more comments, general comments about the way we look at our election issues, no? Automated elections in general. No? When our voting system was automated, the machine took over the act of election. Let's be clear, no? The act of election is a sovereign act. Ang dapat lang na doing the act is the people. So from the one doing the act, or let's say we are the player, we became a spectator. And there was and as a spectator, nagkaroon tayo ng technical problem. Hindi natin nakikita yung ginagawa ng player. So since tinatanggap na natin na nagbago na yung ating role, spectator na lang tayo, we define the problem as a lack of transparency. Because being spectators, hindi na natin makikita. But I for one, believe na we should not accept that we have become a spectator. Labanan natin yung ginawa sa atin, no? We should call out, number 1, the violation of the highest principle of our sovereignty, of our democracy, no? The sovereignty of the people. Number 2, the desecration of the act of election. And number 3, the disempowerment of the people. And it is only proper to ask, I believe, no? To ask, saan ang ating mga constitutionalists? Saan ang mga legal profession natin? The bar associations, the faculties of law of our universities. Saan ang mga scholars of our system, our political system, the experts? Bakit ang lumalaban are the heroes natin are the technical people because they saw the technical problem, no, but there is a bigger problem, the problem of the violation of the highest principle of our democracy. Where are the defenders of our democracy? No? They should help out in the effort to restore our sovereignty in our elections. At the least, they can lend their prestige. So, thank you very much.
Bunyog, bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw. Bunyog,